Good day, guys. Today I want to introduce you to this new plugin called Game Thread Rigs. It allows you to access NMBP control rigs from Blueprints or C++ for a better workflow while you author your procedural animations. I'm going to show you an example, and then I'm just going to explain how the plugin works and how simple it is to use. Okay. Alright, so I'm accessing these mallets that you see, or the sticks. They have a control rig associated with them. That's right here. And this control rig, it's pretty simple. When you move this aim control, that's where the mallet will go. So what I'm doing here is in Blueprints, I'm setting the world location of this little aim control thing. Okay, so because of the plugin, I can access the same control from Blueprints pretty easy. This is what the inner blueprint looks like. You see there's no exposed pins or anything. It's just this control rig class that I've set there. So from Blueprints, what I've done is I've added the game thread rig components, and because I've added that, I can access all the controls or the bounds that I've defined here. If you go to the let me see, game thread rigs content, you'll find this example blueprint right here, and it just shows you how easy it is to get started with this rig component. You need basically a skeletal mesh, and the skeletal mesh needs to use an animation blueprint that has a control rig within it. That's step one. The second step is you add the game thread rig component, and then you just call this function. You call init game thread component, and then you pass it the skeletal mesh. Once you call this function, this game thread component will find and get access to this control rig that you see here. After calling this function, the only thing you need to do is start calling functions like set the world location. Alright, so you can see for game thread, you're just targeting a control. You can target a control, you can target the bone, and then you set the world location, or you can set a control bool value, or you can set the local transform. Right, you just use this game thread component. So as long as it has access to a control rig, this component can control it. All right, so this is the minimum setup, or the easiest way to explain it, the minimum setup. And the only thing you need to do is just to map the skeleton mesh that contains the control rig to this game thread rig component, and it'll take over. So going back to our advanced example, I just want to show that the hi-hat stick, right? The hi-hat stick right here is just using our NMBP that has a control rig. So mallet's NMBP right here. And because it's using this, we know that there's a control rig associated with this stick. So now that we know that there's a control rig associated with the stick, we can get it by mapping it to a game thread rig. This is the hi-hat game thread rig, and then on begin play, you can see that's what we're doing. We're just calling init game thread rig component with the hi-hat stick, and we're doing the same for the snare stick. And then after that, there's really not much to do except set your locations. You can see that all location update here, I'm getting the game thread rig component, I'm setting the world location. That's how I'm able to animate or position the hi-hat stick to be make it seem like it's hitting the hi-hat or the snare. Okay, so for the animations or driving animations, I'm actually using this other plugin called Dynamic Keyframes. You can also just see the introduction to it, but you don't really need it. These are like things to simplify your workflow or make your development less make your development easy. Okay, it's a workflow thing. That's why I've made these plugins. Okay, So you can imagine if you have a very complex rig like a humanoid rig, there's a lot of things here, right? There's a lot of controls here. And the current workflow is that you should go over here and then like add pins for this. So if you have like 100 asset items here, you're going to add like 100 pins here, and then your blueprint gets just way, your item blueprint gets just way too busy. I don't want to work like that. So anyway, that's pretty much what the plugins allows you to do. It allows you to access your control rig from item blueprints, and also you can still animate stuff from the item blueprint and allow the game thread rig component to animate other stuff. For example, here the game thread rig component is animating these hands and the fingers, but the middle part, the working part, is being animated by the item blueprint, right? So yeah, you can see that he's still somewhat working in place while playing the keyboard. These are controlled procedurally, while this is controlled by the animation blueprint. So this is not specific to music. You can just use it if you need to access rigs from the anim blueprint or game thread and control them procedurally. So basically, yeah, that's what the plugin is supposed to do. It's not difficult. Just prepare your anim blueprint, add a game thread rig component, map it, and then just start calling functions like this. That's it. If you want to drive procedural animations, make your own system or get this one. It's still fine. Okay. So yeah, that's what the game thread rigs plugin is all about, just to simplify your workflow. And yes, there's some other things in there, but basically this is what it's about. 等我